In this video, I'm going to show you how to have more magnetic energy than you can even imagine so that people literally chase you. And that you can then also, in this video, I'm going to show you how to emotionally manipulate men into chasing you. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to react to an article that is all about how to get a man to chase you. I'm going to show you which parts of it are healthy, which parts of it are toxic, and what you can actually do to emanate energy that is magnetic from the inside out. Now, first off, I found this website, just typed it in on Google to see what is the common advice that is being shared with the public, so that we could like look at this and then break down the beliefs that are toxic or not healthy, and then really reestablish a way of being that actually will serve you and actually works as well. So I found this website. It's called Love Panky. And it's the title of the article is How to Make a Man Chase You, 20 Subtle Ways to Get Him to Fall Hard. Okay. This is juicy. This is so juicy. Okay, let's go down. Not that way. We're going to go down on the website. Okay. It says, okay, how to make a man chase you, 20 powerful but subtle ways to really work. Now, number one, you're busy. It says you're busy. I mean, you could be sitting on the couch watching the Vampire Diaries all day, but the point is you need to show him you're busy. You can't always answer his messages right away or hang out with him at the drop of a hat. If he needs a 24-hour companion, he should get a dog. He needs to know that you have other things going on. So let me ask you, do you think that this is healthy or this is toxic? Which one do you think? This, of course, is a toxic energy. The thing is if we are leading with being different than what is actually natural or authentic, we are going to attract people that also play those games. If you want somebody that's emotionally available, you should lead with vulnerability. If you want somebody that you're going to play games with, you should listen to this. You should pretend to be busy. So the difference with this energy is the attachment to the outcome. They're different. If you are being the real you and you want to know if someone's interested in you, you can literally show them that you're interested in them. Now, the difference is, of course, the neediness. So let's first off define magnetic energy and energy that repels. Magnetic energy is energy that is not needy. Energy that repels is needy. The degree to which you have magnetic energy will depend upon the degree to energy where you are not needy. Now, if you're showing you're busy, what that means is you might be needy, wanting their approval, wanting their validation, but not showing them that neediness because you don't want to get rejected or abandoned. Now, the challenge and the core thing here is actually the neediness. Now, the thing to become aware of is that the difference between these approaches is that if we are attached to outcome, we are doing something in order to get something out of somebody else. Now, what sometimes happens is people are needy. And one of the reasons people are needy is because in childhood, there was a feeling of not having the needs met as a kid. And then what we do is we search for our partners and the people we're dating to give us those things that weren't met. So we might want someone to chase us because we may not have felt appreciated as kids. So if we could get somebody to chase us, then we would feel validated and approved of. But this is built upon that core wound. And the thing that as we go through this article today and look at these different points, become aware of what familiar energy you may have an addiction to or a desire for some type of outcome. Because when we are doing something to get something out of it, that is manipulative energy. And when we are even pretending to be busy, it's because we want them to perceive us a certain way. We care about what they think about us. And my question to you is, when you were growing up, did you care what mom and dad thought about you? Did they approve of who you are and your appearance? Because I say that because I know growing up, I had to look a certain way. My dad's a firefighter, so I had to tuck in my shirt, comb back my hair. I wasn't allowed to have long hair. And that breeded me to become what's called a people pleaser, where I was pleasing everybody else so that I could get their validation and approval because I didn't naturally feel it for myself. And that became a core wound where then I would date women and it would feel like there was a lack of polarity there because I was just trying to be nice. And that would depolarize the relationships. What you want to do is let go of the people pleasing and realize that that comes from parent pleasing. And if there's a desire to like look busy, why? Why look busy? Because of what you think it'll get you. You think it'll get you approval, validation, or support. And the awareness here is what really the core issue is. The core issue is not pretending to be busy. It's that there's a desire for validation or approval. So firstly, the 90% of all transformation, by the way, is becoming aware of these things. Because even deeper than that, by the way, is normally there's an abandonment energy where you may have felt physically or emotionally abandoned as a kid, and you felt like you had to leave being the real you in order to get other people's validation or approval. And the key to actually having magnetic energy is being the real you. And you might say, well, maybe the real me is just really nice. Nice is different than kind. Nice is I'm going to be this way to you so that I get from you your validation or support. I've even asked my dad this before, and he's like, because my dad's such a nice guy, and that's where I had to shed that pattern. And being nice is like, it's manipulative. I'm being this way in order to get something back. And I had to learn how to be kind. Kind is not attached to outcome. You're kind because it's who you are, and you choose to be that way, whether the person is mean to you, nice to you, gives you that approval or not. So that's the first thing here. Now, let's move down a little bit. This number 4 says, don't let him think he's the one, because he's not. Listen, there are a couple guys at least that are trying to get the opportunity to date you, but you must show him he's not the only one. Show pictures of you on Instagram with other people or tag them in statuses. Point is, he needs to know that you're in demand. The more in demand he thinks you are, the harder and longer he'll be willing to pursue and chase you. So once again, is this healthy or toxic? When we look at this, now I will say, this reminds me of my childhood in a way, because I have a friend growing up that was so good with chicks. And one thing he would do is when he was with chicks, he would take a whole bunch of like photos and like stuff on social media with chicks, because then it would make him look high demand and it would actually work. However, when we look at this, you are going to attract a certain type of person by doing that. Now, once again, the difference here is not what you're doing, but it's the reason you're doing it. If you're trying to look busy or trying to make it look like you have other options, that is manipulative energy that will breed people that play off of that manipulative energy. But if you are instead vulnerable, let's say you really do have options and you're really showing your life, that's a different story. There's nothing wrong with that. It's the intention and the attachment to the outcome here that changes everything. To do something to get something in return is manipulation. And what you want to do is, instead of focusing on what they think and how they feel and what they're doing and even wanting them to chase you, the attention is pulling your energy back and putting it on you. Put the energy back on you. That's the key to this process. Because attractive energy is when you're in your own frame. It's when you're in your own magnetic energy. When you're not seeking approval or validation from other people. That's when you are the most magnetic. And the way that you do this is by becoming aware of where you're diffusing your energy. Are you sending your energy to someone else? And you want them to think a certain way about you, want them to feel a certain way about you. Everything changed for me, by the way, when I was like becoming aware of the people-pleasing mentality, the nice guy syndrome, and I could tell that for so long I was seeking and like sending energy, and then I would want someone to text me back, and it was all this externalization of power. Eventually what I did is I brought that energy back to myself, and I started focusing on my own life. I started focusing on my purpose. I started even, like, the questions are different when you're dating someone, and let's say you want them to like you or you want them to chase you, you're going to think certain questions in your mind, and you're going to think, how do I look to this person? Or how do they feel about me? But imagine you start asking yourself the question, do I resonate with this person? Does this person have the same values as me? Is this person someone that respects my boundaries? Are there red flags with this person? There's different questions that you ask that breeds a different type of energy. And a lot of the things in this article that I'm seeing are all tuning to the other person to get them to do something. And the game changer is when you instead focus in on your own energy and you start to ask yourself questions from a more empowered place. Do I resonate with this person? I wonder if this person if I'm going to feel connected to this person. Asking these questions really changes the energy from which you meet this person. Because for a long time, I could tell that when I was dating someone, I was trying to get their approval and validation. And then the information changed. I started asking myself, is this someone I really even resonate with? And guess what? I'm more inside my own frame. I'm not tuning to them for support and validation. These are all something to think about. So another one of these, of course, is show you have a life. Similar, you have friends, you have a job, you're going to school. You need to show you have a healthy life that isn't influenced by a guy. So once again, you're showing that you have a healthy life that isn't influenced by a guy. Instead of doing that, don't show them that to get them to be attracted to you. It could be powerful advice for you to not put all your energy into this guy. Because remember, where you put energy, you're sending energy. And if you're feeling resistance because the guy's not coming around or it's not here yet, you're literally repelling that. So the key to this is to actually set yourself up in a life where you have a good friend system or ecosystem or a high vibe tribe, or you have other things going on in your life, you're focused on your purpose. I think a lot of times, I've made so many 2,000 videos on YouTube. I have seen one of the biggest challenges people have is they put all their focus on attracting love. And because all their focus is on attracting love and because there's resistance, it ends up breeding more resistance. And people then have a challenge when it comes to that process of just even attracting it, because the energy is resistance. The key to this is, once again, bringing your energy back and realizing that you can emanate this energy from the inside out by knowing that you're worthy, knowing that you're enough, and not tuning to get their validation or their support. Another one of this says, be sexy. Now, you don't have to dress like someone you're not, but you can amp up your sexiness by enhancing features that you naturally have. Doesn't mean get your lips filled, but it can mean lipstick to show off your curves. Men are so visual that it drives them crazy. So, once again, if you're being sexy, be sexy not to get their approval or validation. Be sexy because it's who you are. Be sexy because it's of how it makes you feel. There's a good piece of advice in here. Number 13 says, don't focus on him. This is a weird law of the universe. When you don't pay attention to the guy you like, which is hard, he comes to you. When you pay attention, he's nowhere to be seen. So what you need to do is kind of ignore the guy you like. I know, but we didn't make this rule. The universe did. What the universe really made the rule of is that attachment creates suffering. That's what the Buddha himself said, apparently. Attachment breeds suffering. Attachment is when you make something that is not you, and then you cling to it. It is a powerful advice to not cling to the guy that you're talking to, the guy you're dating, but it's not that you're going to do it to get him. It's you're going to actually have things in your life that you focus on, because that's how you choose to focus in the world. It's not to just make one person your center point of gravity and happiness. Instead of putting all your energy on him or the person, put your energy on yourself and your own life. Not because it's going to get him, but because that's healthy. It is healthy for that. And it is funny, though, that when you're not focused, because think about what I was saying earlier. When you send someone energy, they feel that. And when you are thinking about them, they're feeling the energy. And if you're feeling resistance and things aren't going your way, it's literally repelling them. If you take back your energy and you put it back in yourself, that is also something that I call the frame technique. When you put the awareness in your hands and your feet, it has so much more magnetic energy than you can even imagine. So one of the things you begin to do that changes everything is putting the awareness back in yourself, not focusing on them, and not trying to get his validation or approval in order to get the needs met that weren't met as a kid. Now, one of the most powerful meditations that I have, by the way, that will help you to heal your inner child is an inner child meditation that I created a long time ago. And I've seen so many people transform from this meditation. And this is so that you can help give your inner child what you crave so that you can start feeling more magnetic than ever, and you can get rid of the wound of trying to chase validation, significance, or that kind of approval. So if you haven't listened to that meditation yet, it's completely free. You go to aarondowdy.com/child or click the link at the top of the description box below. It's the inner child meditation, but aarondowdy.com/child. And then also, if you want a video that's going to help you have more magnetic energy than ever before by letting go of 5 simple things, watch this video right here. It will change your life. In this video, I want to share you 5 secrets to letting go that will make you more attractive and that will completely transform your life. And when you start applying them, it changes everything because you start realizing who you really are and you start letting go